Okay, so welcome to the tutorial on how to make texture animations for Revolt. So basically the texture animations are done in two different kind of ways. You can do transform animation or grid animation, and I'll explain the difference between those two, and I'll teach you how to make either of them. So let's take you can see Helios here, and let me just put the material preview, and we will go to the beginning of the track. So here we will animate this part. So I will select the mesh, then edit mode, and I will select this face here. So as you can see, it's already been animated. I've tested this, so I can show you what it does. It's changing the UV. And how is it changing it? As you can see here, the yellow square is moving. Based on so this is grid animation. So how this is done is when you have the face selected, you go to the data properties, object data properties, and slots limit is now we have one animation slot in use. This is the one I showed you, and current slot is 0, which means the first slot. And frames limit, we have 4 frames, and you always have to have the limit as big as many frames you have animated here in the transform animation or grid animation. So basically when a grid animation is resolution 2x2, so it's 4 images from this one text page, it's 4 frames, so frames limit 4. So I will show it again. Frames limit 4, and here we have the navigation. We can navigate through the texture animation. Here you can see the UVs, and you know the coordinates of the text that is being mapped on the vertices. UV is like a meaning of like coordinates in this kind of two-dimensional world. And so the current texture is 0. So let's see. Grid animation, start frame 0, resolution 2x2, and texture we will change this. Let's put texture, we will use text to be, and frame time, let's say it's 1 second per frame, and then we just put grid animation, and it says it's okay. So let me show you if the frames limit is too small. Frame out of range, please set the amount of frames to at least 4, you see. And now that it's been animated, we still have to assign it. So here in the center we have the assign animations. We will assign it. So we can also clear the slot, remove assign. Clear slot, it means this clears the whole animation from the animation slot. But these assign animation and remove assign are face centered, like they are connected to the face of the in the scene. So let's see what happens. So now we have a different kind of animation. Not quite what we would want, but this is just an example. Let me show you in the UV editing. So Helios B. It's quite hard to see this because it's hard to see the texture itself, but here it is. This is the texture, and when we change this frame, you can also press here, current frame 1, and then frame, it will change it. Or you could change the texture, current texture 1, we could change this from here. We could use texture number 3, C, for the frame 0. So now it's more like it's a mix of transform animation and grid animation, because we have two different kind of ways how we are animating now, because transform animation is about using different text pages. But let's see how it looks like right now. So we have this frame. Oh, we have to assign the animation as well. Okay, let's see. So now we have this from transform animation version and grid animation, where it has the 3 parts of the whole page. So text page C, and then from text page B, the 2/4 and 3/4 and 4th quarter. So let me show you how to make the transform animation without this kind of jiggling with the and toggling of the small buttons here. So I didn't explain this UV to frame. So basically UV to frame button here is if you have changed these coordinates here but haven't applied them yet. So if you change this from flight, like let's say this is like more about the grid animations thing, but you can do grid kind of animation to the to the transform as well. Basically, if you try like jiggle really much. I'm not sure about that though, but let's say I will change this to from 50 to 1, 0.5 to 1, but I want to revert it, so I will press this, which is on the frame, so it will go back. But if I do this, I change it, and then I press the magnifying glass, which is frame to UV, then it will change this forever. And then I will show you the transform animation as well. So let's take this one. And we will use the transform animation. We will increase the animation slots to 2. And current slot is the second slot. And now you can see the frames limit as already resetted to 2. But we will increase it to, let's say, 6. No, 5. And then current frame is 0. And transform animation is here. So start frame is 0 and end frame is, let's say, 1. And frame time is 1 second. We will use the texture A at first and then just transform animation. It's been done. Then from 2 to 3, we will use B and transform animation. And then from 4 to 5, we will use C. Oh, limit range. So we have to increase this to 6. These numbers are sometimes a little bit confusing. And now I just assign the animation. So let's preview it. Current frame 0, current texture 0. Current frame 1, current texture 0. Current frame 2, current texture 1. 3, 1. 4, 1. So I used only these and then it goes back. And every frame is 1 second, so it's 2 seconds per texture page. Now I will show you one more thing. The clear slot. It's very destructive. Let's say you have made a slot that you don't want to use. Slot limit 3. And now I just current slot 2. And let's play wise. I will use the same animation here now. Oh, I have to have. Hey, okay, now. So let me show you. I will put here. Let me put here the third animation. So now as we can see, it also is here, the grid animation. And I just feel like I don't want to keep it here. I don't want to have the animation here in this phase. So I will use remove assign. Animation removed from 2 phases. But the texture page didn't fix yet. So I will have to use the object tab and then whatever the texture page was, I don't know, was it maybe B or 3 or C or so on. But anyway, so Blender got stuck, but I'm just explaining you this to the end. So basically, now that I have changed the texture animations, I could export this to the game and we would see the animations that I just showed you. But I'm not gonna do it again because this Blender crashed. It crashed because I'm using the Vulkan graphics, and this kind of things happens sometimes to me with Vulkan graphics. So I need to save the session pretty often in Blender, save the project so that if it gets stuck, then I can just continue where I left off. Like save almost after every change, every big change. But it was too late, so now it's gone.